polycystic ovary syndrome, you may be struggling with acne. Let me show you a good meal plan for polycystic ovary syndrome acne. Polycystic ovary syndrome is a condition where women are dominant in their male hormones because the male hormone testosterone, particularly dihydrotestosterone, or DHT, is too high. These male hormones contribute to acne. DHT particularly stimulates sebaceous glands, increasing oil on the skin, which then feeds the skin bacteria, contributing to pustules and pimples of acne, including cystic acne. So in order to help heal your polycystic ovary syndrome acne, your diet is really important. Diet can help balance your hormones. Nutrition is so important to your body, getting it into good balance. So let's talk about what a polycystic ovary syndrome diet for acne would look like. First of all, it's really important that you get enough protein for your lean body mass. And I talk about this a lot because so many people just eat whatever they feel like eating and wonder why they can't build muscle, they can't build bones, and they don't look strong, they don't look lean, they don't feel vibrant. And it's usually because they're just not getting enough protein. Protein comes from lots of different sources, not just animal products. You can get protein from legumes, beans, which are also soy. You can also eat plant-based proteins, but you just need to get enough protein in order to really maintain your lean body mass. So it's important that you know what your lean body mass is. And there's lots of online calculators out there to help you figure it out. And then you need about 1/2 gram of protein per pound of lean body mass. Now, divide your plate into thirds. 1/3 of what you're eating should be protein, 1/3 from healthy fats, and 1/3 from carbohydrates. Balanced meals are important in order to not to stimulate the male hormone, the testosterone, that's aggravating your acne. You want to try to avoid carbohydrates that get turned into sugar really quickly as well. Those are called high glycemic index foods, things like starches, breads, pastas, white rice, and of course sweets and baked goods and sweetened beverages. High glycemic index foods get turned into glucose very quickly, and that can be extremely inflammatory. And all that extra sugar feeds the acne vulgaris bacteria that causes pimples and inflammation and cysts. So if you want to avoid those carbs, and you need to instead eat the low glycemic index carbohydrates, like whole grains like quinoa and brown rice, wild rice, spelt, bulgur, and things like legumes, beans, and peas, winter squashes like butternut, pumpkin, acorn squash, and yams. They're all low glycemic index carbohydrates. Now there are other carbohydrates you really have to consider, and you don't even have to count them in terms of your carbs. Those are your vegetables. Vegetables are so nutritionally dense but calorically light, so they do not get turned into sugar very quickly, if at all. That means you can have as many of those yummy vegetables as you want, but you want to make sure that you're eating lots of color, reds, yellows, greens, purples. So we're looking at lots of leafy greens and colorful peppers, eggplants, squashes, and cruciferous vegetables. You need to at least eat 3 servings of cruciferous vegetables a week in your diet because the IC3 indoles in the cruciferous vegetables help you metabolize your hormones safely to get rid of all that extra male hormone. Cruciferous vegetables are broccoli, cauliflower, kale, Brussels sprouts. You know they're the cruciferous vegetables because they kind of get stinky like sulfur when you cook them. And that's really good for you. They help you balance your hormones out. And then, of course, your leafy greens are rich in minerals and phytonutrients. And while everyone loves a good salad, you do not absorb nutrients from raw greens as well as if you cook them. So saute those raw greens in olive oil just until they get a little soft and turn a little brighter green, and then squeeze a little lemon juice or lime juice on them, and that'll help them release the nutrients so you're able to absorb them a lot easier. Sauteed greens are actually really tasty with a little salt and pepper. You can even add garlic. I like to throw feta cheese on mine, maybe even some Kalamata olives. Prepared like this, even people who say they hate cooked greens devour them. So lots of colorful vegetables as part of your diet can help reduce polycystic ovary syndrome acne. And then the third major food group that you really need is fat. We call these macronutrients carbohydrates, protein, and fat. And like carbs, fat needs to be a healthy type. This is probably where acne gets most aggravated because too much sugar in your diet aggravates your acne. But also if you're eating fats that are not healthy, like trans fat, your acne is going to get much worse. Trans fats are fats that are overheated by frying. These fats cause inflammation and then really aggravate your acne. Most people who have acne notice that if they do eat greasy fried foods, their acne gets a little worse. And it's because those trans fats feed the acne vulgaris bacteria. So avoid trans fats completely. You want to cook almost exclusively in olive oil. Try sauteing and roasting in olive oil, using it in dressings, because that monounsaturated fat is your friend. It's super anti-inflammatory. It's the basis of the Mediterranean diet, which is the most anti-inflammatory diet known. But you can't cook in high heats with olive oil. You can saute and roast, but you don't want to stir fry in olive oil. For higher heat cooking, you can use avocado oil. It's an excellent oil that's also monounsaturated, and it's rich in vitamin E. Coconut oil works great too. It can tolerate high heat and is saturated, but with healthy medium-chain triglycerides. Those are actually very anti-inflammatory and can make a really huge difference in reducing the inflammation of acne. Also, nuts and seeds are considered healthy fats as well as coconut. So what would a polycystic ovary syndrome acne meal look like? Well, let's look at dinner. I love dinner because then I can use the leftovers for lunch. So let's say you're sauteing up some greens and you're also going to saute up a piece of salmon. And let's say the side is something like a little more starchy, like beta carotene rich yams. That would be a perfect carbohydrate protein combination. And although you've already used the fat from the olive oil and fatty fish, you can put a little butter on that yam, maybe a little bit of extra fat to help to bring the fat ratio up to 1/3 to match your protein and your carbs. So if you have any questions at all, or you need any support at all, or you'd like access to some great recipes, why don't you join us in our hormone support group, which you can access through the Hormone Reboot training, and I'll post the link below in the comments. We share some amazing recipes to help treat your polycystic ovary syndrome, especially your acne. For more great health videos for women, please check out my next video.